How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another operator guide here. Today we're going to go over Goyo. So he came out in Ember Rise, and no one really knew how to use him really in ranked, and still don't. And he got nerfed and nerfed and nerfed, and is still getting nerfed, honestly. He got nerfed by taking away one of his shields, and that's purely because of Pro League and how they understand where they need to put Goyo shields and how to make them very overpowered. A Goyo shield is basically a little bomb, so keep that in mind when you're playing as Goyo and use the shields to your advantage here. And we're going to go over everything on how to make him as overpowered as the Pro League made him seem. They understand a lot about map pressure and just where choke points are on the map, and they understand just map positioning in general. So they're able to use 3 shields very well. That's why they had to nerf it down to 2 just for Pro League. But for average players, I mean, he has a terrible win delta, so that has to be because people just don't know where to put the shields and are just putting them at the doorways of sight, which does not help you at all. So I'm gonna go over just how the Goyo shields can be used better, and then we're gonna go into gameplay and just show you actual examples of how I would use a Goyo shield and how I would play the shields as well. Before that, we always go over my suggested loadout. So this shotgun here, the TCSG-12, was very good for a long time, but it got a little nerf recently. I think they were trying to make it less of like a DMR, and I think they did okay with that, while the Vector has been getting minor buffs as it got a huge recoil nerf back when Mira was being a little bit overpowered, and now I think it's pretty balanced, and I prefer it with 25 bullets in the mag plus a very fast fire rate. It's really good to play behind shields, mirrors, stuff like that, because you could always like pre-fire and get way more bullets than the opposing team. So I would go with a holographic sight, extended barrel, a vertical grip, and a laser sight in general. And then the pistol, P229, is the only pistol you have. Let's go muzzle brake, but it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want for your pistol. And then a nitro cell. It's easy to play with the nitro cells whenever you have the shield to play off of. Really fits well since you are going to be playing an anchor role with Goyo and his shields. Alright guys, I think the most important thing here with Goyo is you got to just understand how the shield works. And I'm going to show you some examples here. So the shield from the front, if you look at it from a attacker's perspective, it just looks like a deployable shield, right? You would have to look really closely and see this part to know that it's a Goyo shield, so you never know which one is going to be a Goyo shield, especially if your team brings other shields. And the only way to destroy it right would be how you destroy a normal deployable shield, so a Ash Charge, a Fia, anything along those lines. That would destroy it, and it would work as a bomb. The bomb, right when it explodes, it does 34 damage, and I'll show you that in a second. And then it has fire damage for 11 seconds or 12 seconds, I believe, and it's 12 health per tick. So every tick will lose you 12 health. Plus, if you were in the explosion, is 34. So you're basically dead if you get stuck in this Goyo shield. That's why it's so good when used in doorways, like little tight doorways that you get stuck in. Like something like that is a good place to put it. Places that are open, I see a lot of people do this with Goyo. They put it in some open spot like this, acting like that's gonna work. First of all, it's obvious that it's a Goyo shield if it's sitting like that, because no one's gonna play behind this, right? Because that's just not smart. People put it in the middle because they use it solely as the bomb, but you have to disguise it in a way, and that's the problem. And once you do put it in the middle like that, even if you shoot it, they could just go around it. That's the problem there. And if you put it in a place like a doorway like this, there's nowhere to go. They could run backwards, right? That's when you peek and kill them. Or they can run through it and probably die or have like 2 HP when they come out. So that's important to know. You have to know how much damage it does and its radius here. The 4 meters is the radius of the fire. So as you can see, right, 4 meters. So that is whenever I'll start getting affected. So you can see the range is pretty fat. Like, it is a huge range. You can't really get in from there, and it's hard to run away if you are able to shoot it. Now you also see that it is a explosion because look around. Look at the hole in the floor. This is its range for explosion, which would be 3 meters is the explosion range. Sorry, I have to look at that one, but 4 meters for fire, 3 meters for explosion. So 34 damage if you're within 3 meters, and then 12 ticks per 12 damage per tick if you are within 4 meters, which is pretty large. So this is basically just a defender's capitale with the fire, but it just has a way larger range here with 4 meters. Now, what else you need to know before we get into actual strats is one thing that people just don't understand is that this will do damage to everyone on the map. You, your team, their team, of course. Everyone is affected by the fire. So if your teammate is playing close and you blow up a shield right here, he's gonna get hit too, even if the guy is right here. So they're both gonna get hit. Your teammate's gonna lose health, and it's never a good idea. It could also kill your teammates, so that's always not a good thing. So Goyo shields go both ways is basically the most important thing there. So one more thing about damage, I just want to show you guys one more time, just as an example. You could use the C4s in cohesion with them and use it as like a bomb. Really, you could do it from far. All right, I could blow it up from here, basically, is what I'm saying. But I'm gonna stand here like I'm an attacker at this door, and I'm going to blow up the thing. So I'm peeking this, and that'll instantly kill me. Obviously, I got the C4 damage and the Goyo shield damage, but it still killed me from outside of the doorway as it's sitting right there. So that's just an example of how powerful it really can be as a defender, and using the C4 and the Goyo shield as a double explosion can even double up your potential there for kills. Stuff like that is okay, especially since you have 2 shields. As you could see though, if you had 3 of these, right, one there, and one wherever else you want to put one. You can put one at this door and just play as a whole anchor here. But you got to understand your placement. So now that you only have 2, you have to understand where you need to put these. One putting right here is probably a good idea. You want to put them where they can't shoot them, of course. You don't want to have them have an angle here where they can shoot them. This is bulletproof, so the only way to shoot them is from the back. The only way they could shoot them here is if they were to wallbang it, right, from ventilation, or somehow get an angle, but they can't get an angle. So basically, you could sit back here, back army, back Africa, and just chill back here, and people push from this hallway late game, and they also will push from this doorway. Now, there's obviously good teams that will all push from offices and such, but you gotta pick and choose what you're gonna guard. You are covering this part of the map, though. You see what I'm saying? You're covering all of this right here, and you're gonna be playing the shields. Now, until then, right, you have to stay alive and know that you are probably the only one that's gonna play your shields in for your whole team. So your team is probably not gonna play the shields, is basically all I'm saying here, and you're gonna have to be the one playing the shields. You could do what I did just right then, put it really close like this, but think about that this whole floor is wall bangable, and usually people will wall bang it to get the bandit charges here. So putting a shield right here is probably not the best idea. Instead, you could put it back a little bit more and use it as cover as well, since you have the glass just like a normal deployable shield. The great thing about this gun, Goyo's gun, is like how Mira's is, right? You have 26 bullets, fast fire rate. It's good for peeking because you shoot 3 bullets, and that's as little as I can shoot, basically. It's because it's just fire rate is so fast. So going up and spraying is obviously great with this gun. You're gonna go through half your mag in like a second, and you just got to understand the recoil of this gun. This is a lot like Ella. You got to just stop shooting after a few seconds. You just got to count in your head, 1, 2, stop shooting, right? Like that, 1, 2. It's either that, or you're gonna see how crazy this recoil becomes. It starts doing the horizontal after about midway through the mag. I don't know the exact number for this shield, so if someone has that, go ahead and leave that down below. But it does a pretty good damage, is all I'm gonna say here. Now, once they do decide where they're gonna push, if they aren't opening this wall and you guys have it K tricked or bandit tricked and they didn't go under, right, most likely they aren't gonna push just this one door, because that would be dumb. If they do though, you have this shield, easy to play with, because you can sit back here, and if they aren't playing vertically, then they aren't going to kill you from underneath, of course. If they aren't coming here though, you have your shield over here, so you rotate over here and just play this angle, right? You just play like this, play passive angles, and use your shield, of course. So they're going to be peeking up on this 90 hall, right? And they're going to be trying to push offices, so you have control of the entire site just from being able to play this. Obviously things happen in mid rounds that change things, but a lot of people just misuse Goyo and just put them on a bunch of doors that don't matter, right? These doors, if you're gonna put it on this door, then you obviously don't know how to play Goyo, or you have to have some sort of strat, because obviously you don't want that because someone can just shoot it from the back. So that's not what you want. You instead want to use choke points. This is a choke point. Top of metal stairs is definitely a choke point, right? And remember that explosive damage that you have. You can of course double it up with the C4. Maybe a little bit more throw on it, but doubling the damage, right? If someone comes up these stairs, boom, they are gone if you hold this, right? And if you have a cam or something to watch top of metal stairs, they're gone. And that's a choke point, right? This is a choke point because there is only one way in. You can't go around it. You can't get around it. Putting it in the middle of a room like this is probably dumb. Putting it in the middle of this doorway isn't the best because people know that no one's going to be playing by it, and it's probably a Goyo shield. You kind of want to disguise them in with the other deployable shields, so hopefully they waste their utility on the normal deployable shield and not the Goyo shield. So another way to think about this is you can waste a lot of utility if you play these in cohesion with Jaeger or Wamai, because they will destroy nades, right? They'll destroy anything that's coming to try and kill the shield. Obviously, Jaeger would be good because it will catch the Ash charges of Fia and cancel them out, right? It'll block them from getting to the shield. And then you waste all of Ash's charges, all of Zophia's charges and whatnot, and you still have your shield. So you have your utility, waste theirs, and it's just a utility game at this point. And that's how pros have this game on lockdown. They are using this game to every utility to their advantage, right? And that's what caused operators like this that suck in ranked, right? Suck in ranked because people don't know how to use them. I should clarify that. So another thing is I like to set one at a choke point like this, and then I like to set one like this. But this is just this map, of course, but you could use this on every map. Think of one map in particular that you could use this on is Consulate, and it's protecting common plant spots. So late round, people say they think the shield is just normal or whatever. They will go over here, and this is a common plant spot, right? And this defends the common plant spot. I like to have a shield, one shield defending a common plant spot, right? So if I know the whole team's there, I can come around there and burn it up, right? And this will kill anyone that's even in this proximity, first of all. So someone's gonna have to hug here to even try to kill me back, and it's gonna kill their planter, and now I can just wallbang everything else from inside of the little office here. So that one defended a common plant spot. I think the reason I brought up Consulate is because you could put one on white van, right on white van on the front of it, and you could shoot it just how I did on this one, and it works the same way. In general, man, just learn how positioning works, learn how choke points work. This right here is a choke point. Anywhere that a lot of people will try to enter from is basically, in my books, a choke point. Hopefully this helped you play Goyo. I know he's not going to be the best operator, not for everyone, because it takes just a different skill set, really. But hopefully you can at least appreciate how Goyo is, how he's actually good and why he got nerfed the way he did. So one last thing, I wanted to show you the range of the C4 deployable shield here and just show that there are limitations here, right? So this right here, you're not going to try to blow it up when they're up here. You gotta do it smarter. If you put the further you put the shield up, the further the fire will come out. You gotta note that as well. But I use it as a choke point. I put it right here, just so whenever they're actually trying to push last second, this goes into the 20-second meta, really, when everyone tries to push last 20 seconds. And that's not so much of a ranked thing, but it still happens in ranked quite a lot, where people are running in the last few seconds. And that is where you can shoot this shield. That takes 12 seconds, right? Shoot this shield. That takes 12 seconds. So now what do they have to do? They either have to wait and then push last second, or run around the map and come here and go full sprint into your vector. So that's the move there. If you guys enjoyed this, if this helped you, let me know. This is Goyo. I know there's not a lot of advanced things about Goyo, but just knowing how to do this is all you need to do. And I will see you in the next one.